Alright, so today we decided to come up to the peak in Hong Kong for some views to take photos, but as you can see, it's not the best weather. But yeah, anyway, so today I'm going to be trying out a phone app actually that is designed to emulate film photography. It's called Hujicam. It's become really popular lately, so let's check it out. Alright, so yeah, we thought it was going to be good weather today because usually the best views of Hong Kong you get from the peak, but yeah,
it's
yeah, it's not the best. Oh yeah, actually, so Huji, like I said, is a film emulation app, so it's meant to recreate the look of a film camera. And I guess a lot of companies these days seem to be capitalizing on this whole nostalgia trend where people want to feel like it's the 90s again. And so today I want to compare this Fuji app with an actual film camera by taking some photos out here. So basically the peak tram goes from down near Admiralty all the way up to the peak, but people don't actually know that the peak tram has several stops along the way, and you can actually get off at these stops and you can walk to them as well. So here, this is I believe it's called Barker Road Station.
Yep.
And very people actually know about this, so it's a good place to take photos. So let's check it out. So yeah, the tram is actually, I think, coming up right now, so you can actually see the cables that move the tram. It's pretty cool. Alright, so I don't actually have the app yet, I've never tried using it, so let's just download it right now, Hujicam. So here it is, just like the year 1998. Yeah, it's Fuji's trying to emulate the look of, cameras from the 90s. Actually, this is what a lot of disposable cameras look like. Even the disposable cameras that you buy today, they have this sort of look. So let's see how this works. Alright, so I just took a photo. Alright, let's give this a shot. I think a tram is coming.
Oh, a tram is coming!
What's interesting about this camera is that there's actually no viewfinder. There's a super tiny thing on the left corner, which sort of looks like a viewfinder, but you can hardly really compose anything there. So I guess that's the part that sort of feels like a film camera. You don't really know what you're getting until after you've taken the photo. So I took a couple photos just now. So this is the tram photo. And this is the tram photo that's coming. Actually, it looks pretty interesting. So I think the thing about this camera is that it's got a strong magenta hue. Like the white balance is balanced in such a way that the colors are extremely magenta pink tone, which is pretty nice. And then I think what this app does is actually randomizes these light leaks over here, where it's sort of like light coming in from the side of the photo. So you could actually get that on real analog film cameras. The way you get that is if the back of the camera is actually broken and then light seeps into the camera from the side. But usually the cameras you have won't be so damaged unless you intentionally break it. So let's try taking some photos with the film camera I brought today. So this is the camera we're using, straight out of 1997. This is the Olympus Mu 2 compact camera.
What type of camera is it?
Yeah, it's a point and shoot camera. So check this out over here. This is what the back looks like on this. So it's similar. It has you can see the film, you can see a viewfinder, and then it also tells you how many shots remaining you have. I'm using a film called Kodak Portra, which is designed for skin tones and photos of people. So, but yeah, I'm gonna just try to recreate the shot we got earlier without the tram. You know, I feel like the photos you get out of the Hujicam are pretty definitely not similar to the ones you get out of an actual film camera. The processing is much heavier, and yeah, the effect's definitely much more subtle on a real camera. I haven't actually seen the photos yet, but I feel like it won't look that similar. But it does. The good thing about using Fuji is it sort of lets me preview what the photo might sort of look like before I actually take it on my film camera. So that's what I've been using it to do right now. You can see like the editing on these photos, the default filters is really heavy. Like I mentioned, there's a strong magenta cast to it, and then the contrast has clearly been boosted. There's a bit of grain added, and the edges of the photo are kind of blurred to simulate a low quality lens, and then there's also the date stamp. But I think the aesthetic's pretty good. Like you can't expect it to be exactly like a film camera, but it's unique. It has value in a different sort of way. So I've noticed that the Hujicam actually has a flash option, which lets you use the built-in flash in your phone. So I'm also gonna try comparing the flash on this along with the flash in the Olympus Me 2. Okay, I think the weather might be clearing up a bit. We can see some buildings down there now. It's definitely not as foggy as it was earlier. Let's grab some photos of this. Alright, that should be all for today. I'm gonna take the tram back down. See you guys later. I think I got on the wrong tram. You know, to be honest, I was actually a bit skeptical about this app. I thought it was gonna be kind of cheap looking. But honestly, it has a pretty unique vibe. It definitely doesn't faithfully emulate how a film stock should look. You can do that much better with Lightroom or Photoshop. But like for something that's quick and easy, it's actually pretty cool. It reminds me of how Instagram was in the early days when people just used it for the sort of old school filters like X Pro. And this just takes it one step further because they're actually emulating what it looks like to use a film camera. And I think it's pretty dope. Seems like we go to a lot of waterfalls on this channel. Honestly, you've seen the photos for yourself. These two cameras definitely produce very different results, but they're both interesting in different ways. Like with the film camera, you can choose how it looks with the film stock you choose, and with Fuji, it's more random, but it's still a pretty fun experience. And if you've never tried a film camera, it's sort of approximates what it's like to shoot with a film camera. The whole part where you don't know how it's going to come out, and it's just sort of an interesting photo every time. But yeah, so you should definitely give it a shot. And the great thing about Fuji is there's an unlimited number of photos. It's just based on how much storage you have on your phone, so it's a good way to try taking photos.